wouldn't say very promising because it's gonna come, but you just gotta focus on right now. But just seeing some of the guys that I've practiced with on a daily basis, I mean, it isn't real surprising. You know, that some of the plays that they've made in practice, y'all don't really get to see. Triumphs, some of the plays that they made on the field in the stadium. So it's not very surprising for me. I'm surprised that some of them didn't get drafted. Tyler Powell, who was they get drafted? Jalen Marshall. Jalen Marshall didn't get drafted. You can argue if he was in a different conference and he even put up the same amount of numbers, then he'd have been drafted top 3. So, yeah.
You got a contract right away, though, once he went to the Jets.
Yeah, he got a contract right away, because he's a baller.
So they saw it, right? Yeah, what does stand out about him? You saw him for a couple of years, Raekwon.
He's a very quick athlete. I mean, doesn't really have the 40-yard dash speed, but you see him on the game day. Changes direction speed, straight line speed is incredible, and he makes plays.
After watching Zeke the last 2 years, seeing him every day, how do you think Mike Weber fills that role, and how do you think that Mikey will, handle the transition from being kind of a lost guy to the guy?
Everybody's talking about Mike Weber. I mean, he really has to get through a camp first. Last year, he only made it halfway through camp. And to prove to his teammates and to me, you got to make it through all the way through camp. And I really feel like if he can make it all the way through camp at Ohio State, then he can excel and do the same thing and put up the same number that Zeke did.
What's it like, Raekwon, though, having a guy that a lot of people are counting on, especially with what happened to Dunn, to be potentially the starting running back of this team, but he hasn't made it through camp yet?
I mean, it's a lot of, like I said earlier, it's a lot of high expectations that he just has to live up to. You got to come in on a daily basis and work, put in the work, because we're not going to let him off either. If he comes in today and doesn't feel like working, he's just going to get moved to the side, and the next man up is going to be ready to play.
What saw from Antonio Williams in the spring?
Antonio Williams. He ran hard. He got injured. He had he had a concussion or something like that. Just running so hard, just trying to run everybody over. But you got to learn, like at the next level, people hit so hard and run so fast nowadays that you can't do that in practice against each other. So he have to learn the game a lot more. Learn where he can pick and choose when to run people over.
He gave himself a concussion.
Yeah, by trying to run somebody over. I mean, I don't know if he had a concussion. Don't quote it.
Hey, Raekwon, how do you think the team? I apologize if you've been asked this. How do you think the team responded to the pressure last year, the inherent pressure of trying to repeat the project?
I mean, I think we responded great. We could have came in and dropped another one against the team on North End, Notre Dame. But we came in, knew what we had to do, knew what had just happened to us, and knew that it was a slim chance that we would make it to the college football playoffs. So we had to pick ourselves up off the field and get ready for the next week.
What were the fan expectations like going into last year?
And I think everybody's expectations were national championships, and anything less was a failure. But as a team, at the end of the season, we felt like we made a great accomplishment because we came together at the end of the season. Everybody thought we was going to go downhill.
Before that point, I mean, going into the season, what's that like as a player? National title or bust?
I mean, like you said, it's just a lot of pressure on you. Day in and day out. I remember my freshman year, man, we used to go into games trying to blow people out, trying to prove to the nation that we were the best. And last year we fell into trying not to lose instead of going out there trying to win. So it turned into a defensive-minded team instead of an offensive-minded team, trying to score 70 and trying not to give up any touchdowns, to winning games 20-13 when we're supposed to win like 45 something like that.
Thank you.
Urban said today that Michael Jordan looks like he could be in line to start. I mean, for a true freshman offensive lineman to come in, I guess, I don't know how much you've seen of him in practice, but just what's it like to see a guy like that come in at a position like that and excel?
I mean, it's just kind of like the process I had. Everybody said I was supposed to do this, I was supposed to do that. And ultimately, I didn't start. But for Michael Jordan, he's in a different situation to where if he can come in just like Michael Weber and make it through the camp and the ringers that they put us through during the camp, then he definitely can excel during the season.
Who's a young linebacker you think maybe people aren't talking about enough? Maybe a kid that's who maybe isn't a starter, but you're pretty high on.
Our incoming freshman. I mean, our last class was awesome too. We had some great athletes. But our incoming freshman, Keandre Jones, Malik Harrison, man, those are two pretty good guys. Malik, you still don't know what position he's going to play yet because he's working with the linebackers right now, and we're going to see how he does during camp. But Keandre Jones is definitely going to be a solid player one day.
Where could you see him ending up? You've seen him a little bit. Where could you see Malik ending up, Harrison?
I mean, you can see him growing up and being a Josh Perry type guy, or you can see him transition into offense and become a tight end.
Seriously.
Or go from that just like Sam Hubbard did, go from tight end to D end.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't know what athletes like that.
How's Jerome Baker doing?
He's doing pretty good. He's a great athlete. Everybody knows, made that one-hand catch. But it's not about making one play. It's about being consistent over and over and over again. And that's what y'all look for. That's what our coaches look for. That's what teammates look for, consistency. Because without consistency, you don't see the field.